This one?
Yeah, try this one.
Yeah, which one?
Like maybe like just use the last one then. What the heck?
Yeah, but I guess you can't. It brought me to a website.
Do you have your phone, Ben? I'll screenshot it and send it to you.
Yeah.
This one's both of you guys.
It's bringing me to a website. Okay.
Yeah. Wait, are you at it?
Yeah.
Website's not the right place. Like, oh, okay, as long as you have it.
Is it the first one or the second?
Second one. Alright, so he's a herbalist, which means he uses plants to heal. Who is interested in turning his hobby into a full-time job?
Okay.
So we're looking for business structure and marketing.
Yeah, so if I'm doing marketing, Alec, I think you should focus on like demographics, like what exactly who are we targeting?
Alright.
And as well as like is there any legal feedback that we might get?
Alright, and legality.
And then Kyle, do you want to focus on like business structure as well? Because if I'm doing marketing plan, then we can all come together and figure out the pricing of things.
Alright, so I'm doing marketing, or demographic and legality, you're on marketing.
And Kyle will do business structure.
Business structure.
Alright,
Yeah.
you got it. All the way down. Oh, it also says,
Oh, you see the objectives below?
it also says define the industry characteristics, competitors, and market. I think that's already what you said.
Yeah.
And then it also says examine federal, state, and local current events
Yeah.
to determine their impact.
Yeah, part of that will be you as well, like with the current events of like
Alright.
what exactly is
And
happening.
it also says evaluate the types of business structure and
So I got
ownership.
the third bullet point because this is evaluate the type of business ownership / organizational
Yep.
structure.
And
Yeah.
advantages. And then
And I have whatever's
and then
there.
industry trends, competition.
That would be me for
Okay.
the marketing design.
Alright, and then, okay. Alright, good stuff. Alright, and I'm also doing current events.
Yes.
Does this give us a location? No.
No, he just says he's in a bad spot for a place to sell herbs.
Oh, no, he's not in a bad place. He said he's in a place where there's nowhere around him that's
Yeah.
doing it. He wouldn't have. Doesn't sound like he has any competition.
It says he lacks an herb store, so that would be good.
Oh,
for
that would be good for him, yeah.
competition, yeah. And he said it's like niche. Alright.
On the hood.
wanna say what they need to do to start it up and stuff, basically.
As well as make sure you go over like whether it's a partnership, sole proprietorship, or
Or yeah, it's an
corporation.
LLC. And then,
Oh, yeah.
the charter is only for the corporations, right? You don't need that for an LLC, but you.
I don't believe so.
No, yes, you do need it, cause you need approval from government.
The government,
Okay,
correct,
you
you're
got- alright,
correct.
so.
Yeah.
That kind of blends into my legality of,
Yeah, and you can go off of that, and then we'll come up with a logical progression once we're already done with, once we already know what we're
Yeah.
gonna say.
oh, and don't forget, we also have to come up with like
The
pricing and
price,
stuff
yeah,
like that.
I'm
right?
leaving that for last.
Yeah.
I'm just doing advertisement and promotion product first, as well as place is pretty defined because, you know, not a lot of competition means good for him to start his business and easy to grow from. Yo, for product, I think I'm gonna reach into your demographic portion of yours.
Mhm.
Like say like this product does this and that, it will appeal to these type of people.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So what I thought of for that was like local residents, like who are interested in cooking, 'cause you
Yeah,
know, they want
exactly.
like fresh
Yeah,
produce.
'cause he's getting up a product and a service here at the same
Yeah,
time, right?
exactly,
'Cause he's
'cause
selling,
he's-
but he's also providing a class on how you
Yeah,
use it.
and
Yeah.
so that's why I included, I said like those interested in it, cause you know, and like
Yeah.
people interested in like agriculture, but I also said it would probably be tailored more to like older people.
As well.
And you know, those who, you know, like
Yeah.
obviously cook at the house.
Exactly.
And like people who are interested in, you know, the fresh stuff and like maybe even organic. But I also said, I don't really know, he could also sell to like local like restaurants,
Local
couldn't
visit
he?
restaurants, yes.
Yeah.
That would be, I think that would be a very good addition because, especially since in this area, there's not a lot of seasonal herbs.
Exactly, so
means-
that probably means like the next, they probably have to go a long way for like
yeah,
their shipments
exactly.
of like.
And whereas this would be more speed and faster delivery.
Exactly, alright.
So I think that's a good idea to mention. You say you're doing pros and cons of the business, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll leave that to you then. I'll do threats and weaknesses.
Okay. I'm doing like threats and weaknesses of like the actual like structure, usually like more like the actual like.
Yeah, like actually like what could be wrong with the product.
Yeah.
I don't know, it is
I
kinda
just-
quiet.
I don't know why we're doing that, but yeah.
I just feel like if I talk too loud, like, something's gonna happen, I don't know. Jeez.
Current events.
You can talk about COVID. Be the easiest thing.
Yeah, that's true, that's true.
I would look for something a little more like concrete to this topic though.
Like, that could definitely affect the classes.
Yeah, exactly.
Classes, alright, and we gotta kinda finish up talking about the price too,
Yeah.
so. Oh, Zoom. That's a possibility.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
So, extra safety regulations.
You're also looking at judge's questions though too.
Do we have them?
She's gonna ask us
Oh,
those at the
yeah,
end,
yeah.
so just make sure you do the verbs.
No, I don't think she is.
Is she?
Yeah, she is.
Oh, okay.
Guys,
Alright.
I don't think niche means what we thought it does.
No, niche means like, small.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
never mind. Maybe I was just, because I thought honestly it's something different.
What do you think?
I thought it meant like, it was like a comfortable place, like, you know, like.
Yeah, like a good.
Well,
environment.
it's kind of a mix between the two. Like niche is kind of like, you know, it's like a thin or like a small, it's like a small corner or something, I'd say.
Yeah,
It's like a nook or like a nook and cranny. It's like a niche.
and since it's a niche, I think that can be used for strengths.
Yeah, I'd
For
say
sure.
so. I mean, strengths and weaknesses, because like
Yeah.
it's a strength because there's not going to be a lot of competition, but it's going to be a weakness because like there's not as many people that
people
it appeals
trying to buy, yeah, so I'm not gonna.
All right, so pricing. You guys ready to wrap up? Do pricing?
In a second here, hold on.
Ready.
I think we could just go like you to me.
I think that sounds
works.
good. Yeah,
I
and then
feel
if
like mine would suit mine
also,
at
if you
first.
feel the need to jump in and like say something.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You go ahead.
Yeah, and if it like relates to one of your things.
Okay.
Kinda.
Yeah, exactly. For price.
Alright, so price.
Okay, I think it has to be a reasonable price, like in the sense of it can't be so much money that it would scare away customers,
Of course.
because since it's a niche like community and it's not a high
Supply and demand.
Exactly. There's not gonna be as much demand if it's niche. So in that sense, you have to lower the price a fair amount, you
Mhm.
know. But since it's gonna be speedy delivery in that area as well, since there's not as many competition
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
you also gotta consider that it's gonna be quick to restaurants and stuff.
And I
like
mean, the profit margins are gonna be quite large, cause I mean, it costs a lot to run a facility, so it kinda balances out, I guess, but in terms of like raw input to output,
Yeah.
you would need like your fertilizer, your seeds, like
Exactly.
but I mean, the water cost, I
Yeah.
mean, that would be dependent on that, but I mean, they could also do like, maybe like even like an aquaponics kind of thing.
Exactly.
Do you
That would-
guys-
that would-
do
that would
you guys
get
know how
much.
much it would take to like get these plants from like different places and stuff though?
Shipping, well, I mean, I thought it was like, in most cases, it was just like a brick and mortar kind of thing.
Yeah, if this
Like,
is
it was
hobby,
it was just a retail.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I would say that for the pricing of this, I would say for the herbs,
Mhm.
I don't know, I'm thinking like $5 to $10. That's
I
kind
mean,
that's kind of steep, but
also
like
kinda-
for an assortment of it, like
Mhm.
think about it. And then for like single unit, you could do like 350 or something like that.
And it would depend on the herb too, and, you know,
As
like
well as
the
like,
rarity.
think about it like
Yeah,
this:
that's
your
true.
popularity is only gonna grow if it's a niche community. Like once people are like, "Oh, this is a really good product,"
Yeah.
they're gonna start buying, and then your prices.
And it all depends on the expansion of it
And
too.
then
Exactly.
what about the class you use weekly though, and how to use it?
class.
and stuff?
Exactly. I would say
How much?
for like, I don't know, maybe
I mean, it
like
depends how long it is, or like what.
I would say
Yeah,
$10 a class.
I mean,
Like
that
$10
just sounds like kind
$10
of
a class, and then 5. We'll go with $350 per unit.
that kind of yeah. All right.
Yeah,
You,
we
got
got-
you got that down. All
Yeah.
right. Yes. So that kind of bleeds into like the COVID thing though.
Yeah.
Because like if you're and it's the same discussion with like in-person school. Like if you do a Zoom class, are you still going to charge them for
Yeah,
it, or is it
exactly.
just going to be like a for fun?
And that could be
you know
a-
you just teach them.
And that could be a threat to the business as well. Like.
Oh yeah, COVID definitely.
COVID being like making it hard for people to
Yeah.
want to come out and actually
Well,
take these classes.
I got that on my.
Yeah,
So I'll
you're good.
look at that
Yeah.
for
Alright.
now. Alright. You ready to present?
Whenever you're ready, gentlemen.
Alright, let's do it. Alright, so
Do we
Kelly,
have
you
our
wanna go
go
first?
cards with us or something? Okay.
You can use your cards.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
We're not gonna move the table.
Alright. So, Kyle?
Alright, so we believe that the best option for this business should be using an LLC. The startup cost in Connecticut for an LLC to file paperwork is $120, which is rather cheap compared to other options. The advantages are something like it's obviously limited liability, so you cannot get sued for like all your assets and stuff, and all that is safe. Whereas if you went the partnership route, you could potentially lose everything if something were to go wrong. And especially for like an herbal company, if someone has like say like a reaction to the plant that like
Or like
you wouldn't want.
contamination. too,
Yeah,
that would-
they could potentially sue you for a lot. Also profits aren't taxed as much as if you were to go like say with a corporation and stuff. So you guys would be able to take home more money on your sales. And then management with an LLC is overall like an easier route, as you guys all can make day-to-day decisions together and stuff based on what you want to see with like pricing and stuff, or like what plants you want to bring in. So that would allow you guys all to have a say in what you want. So yeah, that's the LLC.
And since your product is in an area of niche, you'll be able to target specific consumers as well as just overall have less competition, making it easier for your business to grow quicker, as well as less or more profit for your business. And then for promotion, you should, like Amazon for delivery would make it easier for for your business to be accessible, as well as being in the area of with no competition means that you'll be able to deliver quicker, as well as act as a speedier rate as from outside sources. And for this product, it would cost about $4 for each herb to actually make and continue on with, so your profits would be able to go up because you'd be able to target specific consumers. As well as possible threats, since it is a smaller business, your demand is going to be lower, and although you will be able to target a specific group, making it so that way your business will be able to grow faster, and overall this should even out. And since it was initially a hobby, it might be hard to convert to a business, although, as Kyle stated before, an LLC is your best chance to do this. It will cause limited liability, as well as you will have people around you to help make decisions. And as well as it is a niche community, making less than that.
One thing I want to add to that is maybe with the weaknesses, if your partners are more like the like ghost partners, where they just invest and they, they aren't, as passionate about, growing herbs as you are, you won't necessarily have their expertise when it comes to actually like managing like the physical part of it.
Yeah, but maybe other aspects.
In the business aspect, and the
Yeah.
handshake deals. I mean, I don't know if you'd be making any deals with
Yeah.
with a retail herbal thing, but like, I mean, still, they would be able to allow guidance for that aspect, but that might be a weakness where
Yeah.
they can't offer there.
Do you mind if I have one more thing?
Oh yeah, sure.
COVID as well may provide a struggle for the classes that you want to produce, because students may be less obligated to go to said classes, so
And less willing to pay.
so lowering the price might be necessary, as we have it at $10 a class seems reasonable, especially since you'll be close by, and it will be more accessible, as well as $3.50 for a unit, meaning since you're targeting such a specific group, there will be more demand in that sense, but as well as like that's a reasonable price considering you pay $4 to make the herb.
So for the demographic, demographic is most likely just going to be local residents who are interested in like cooking and especially in like fresh produce and potentially even organic produce, which I'll touch on later with the legality. But by and large, it's most likely just going to be those types of people who are looking to cook in their own houses. However, there is a potential to start selling these to like local restaurants, for example, where especially the scenario described a place in which there weren't many fresh herbs around. So that probably means that said restaurants have to pay a lot more in shipping, and it might not be as fresh. So being able to grow to the point to which you can produce and maybe sell more to local restaurants as well would be highly beneficial, because I think it would greatly increase profits, and you'll be able to expand the business. So on the legality, the FDA has a lot of regulations, especially when it comes to like consuming produce and pretty much anything people eat, drink. The FDA has a lot of regulations on that, especially under their I don't know what you call it, but it's the current good manufacturing practices, and there are a bunch of and most of the regulations that pertain to this scenario, the herbal shop, would fall under these guidelines, and these require taking a course, they require taking a course on it, filling out copious amounts of paperwork, as well as making sure your facilities are properly equipped, and that said facilities aren't in your kitchen or your house. They have to be a separate facility specifically for this. And back to the organic labeling, it has to be completely organic for you to label it that way, or 95% of the ingredients involved in it are completely organic. And the way current events might affect this, obviously COVID, like Ben just touched on earlier, the Zoom classes are a possibility, charging or not charging. Extra safety regulations on herbs and their production would be extra stringent, and the WHO regulations. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's see this.
Was that over 7 minutes?